Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Kingz and Konversation. I'm Enrique.
And I'm Mike.
And today we have Mr. Davien. That's Davien.
It's Davien.
And you said, mind you, you just did not, and I always say Davion.
That's what some people
And that's
Yeah.
what I thought your name was.
Davien.
Yeah.
Because when I looked at the spelling, I was like, no, that's Davion. Like, you know how people try to get fancy like JK.
No, some people say Davion, but I don't. It's not a big deal to me. Like,
No, that's your name, anime. You only
Right,
got
we're
your
gonna
name.
call you by your real name.
Yes, but like so, people, some of like my industry friends, they say Davion. So if someone says that, I don't consider it being mispronounced.
Okay.
So say it one more time for people.
It's Davien.
Davien.
Yes.
Okay, I got
Like Jackie.
it. Okay, however he made that
No,
correlation.
you know how Jackie
with-
is? She said Jackie.
Jackie, right, yeah.
Thank you.
Wish that worked for her.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I like that.
Thank you.
We have this, I don't know like how to describe this young man. He's an actor, he's a writer, he's a producer. I mean, he's a whole lot of things at such a young age. How old are you, Davien?
I am 37.
That's still young. To some. But,
Oh, yeah.
but he has done a lot in such a short time of living, of 37 years. And today we're going to be talking to him about this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful movie that I had the opportunity to see called Some Kind of Christmas. And I was not supposed to be there. Because when I initially got the invite from Konversation, I had something to do. So then he hit me up and said, hey, are you still busy? And I said, you know, it fell through. And I forgot about it by then because, you know, once you... And he said, I got free tickets. Come. I said, you know what? I'm going to go. I'm going to come on because I wanted to see it. And the trailer was really phenomenal. Like, the cinematography of this movie is phenomenal. Like, yeah, it looks like something I was literally in a box office movie looking at. But, I mean, it was at a theater that we did see it. So I don't think that we was in somebody's house. It was at a theater. But
there's nothing wrong with house viewing.
no, it's not. But I'm saying I don't want people to get the wrong conception of
It was very professional.
Very professionally
Right.
put together, and the whole night flowed. I went to the initial premiere night, and they had this person dressed up like Rudolph. I mean Santa Claus. No, I mean Mr. Claus. Hey, Ayana. Eric Dillard was there doing his thing. So I'm gonna let you tell me how long you've been doing this first, and then we'll go and come up to it.
So it depends on how far back you want to go. So originally, birth. Okay. Originally, it was music. I started out doing music, but I didn't want to be a singer. But everybody was like, "Oh, you can sing. You should probably sing." But I didn't want to do it, and so from music, I ventured into modeling because everybody was like, "Oh, you're so attractive. Have you ever thought about modeling?" And I was like, "No," and so I was like, "Well, enough people had said it. Maybe I should try it." And so I went to school and studied modeling.
Oh, wow.
But when they did my intake, I had to do a commercial audition for Head and Shoulders. And when I did the audition, everybody was like, that was really good. And I was like, that was kind of good. Like, I shocked myself too. And so did the whole modeling thing, but there was a lot of rejection that came with that. And I didn't know that. Like, nobody prepares you for the fact that you may never ever get picked. So that was a lot to deal with. And I relocated to Atlanta from Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
And when I moved here is when I kind of began considering the acting world. I was leaving church and a lady said, wait. She was like, you look like one of the characters I want to play in my stage play. And I was like, okay. And so I did the play and it went really well. And so after that, I was like, well, let's just try the acting thing for a little while. And so started out in stage, did stage for a little while, and then I decided that I wanted to transition into film and television. And so I came up during the time when web series began to pop off because Issa Rae had Awkward Black Girl.
Right.
And when Awkward Black Girl got picked up, everybody started doing web shows because they thought that would be their claim to fame.
Right.
And so I did a lot of student projects, free. And then those students graduated and they called me back when they got budget. And that's how I started making money. Yeah.
Okay.
So one thing led to another. eventually got TV roles. I started with reality TV first. I did a couple of episodes of SWV Reunited, and then I did the Ricky Smiley Show. And then from there, by doing Ricky Smiley Show, I got affiliated with Swirl Film.
Okay.
Swirl Film.
Right.
And January Curry and Diamond Keyson. Yes.
Yeah.
They called me back, and so I got a role on, I forget what that TV show was, but it was a TV One program, and then they got me on Born Again Virgin,
Oh,
and that's how I got my first speaking role on television. And then from there, just in the midst of all of that stuff, I would be an extra on set. While everybody else was talking and laughing and trying to get to know each other, I was watching and observing like the setup and the standings and finding out why it took so long to get through a day of filming. And so in the midst of all of that, and I'm not talking, I'm sorry. We had
this is your interview.
And it's your story.
I had all of these just scenes that I had written out, like these characters in my head, and I would write out a scene, but they didn't go with each other. And so one day I was like, well, I don't have a role right now, and nobody has called me to give me a role where I feel like I get to shine. And so I said, well, let's do a movie. And so I called a ghostwriter to help me make it all make sense, because I knew nothing about how to structure a film. And so they helped me take all of my scenes and put it together, and that's how I created my first movie, which was Red Carpet # with Heartbreak. Yeah. And so we did that movie. We were fortunate to release in theaters again, which is why I released this project in theaters. So fast forward, I did another project called 8 Counts of Deception, and then
That you produce?
Okay. Wrote, directed, and produced it all by myself. And then fast forward to now, Some Kind of Christmas, which I love that movie. I wrote it and directed it and produced it and paid for it.
And played a character in it.
And played a character in it, yeah. So yeah, that's been my journey.
Come on, young Tyler Perry.
Yeah, I was going to say, 'cause that was inspirational in itself. So
Definitely.
anybody watching, they
Mhm.
better find, and they have to understand that it's always said, but you're sitting here proof that a lot of no's don't stop you.
Yeah.
You'll still get that one yes.
Yeah. I always tell people that you have to be wired for it, you know, because nobody knows what your journey is going to be, but you have to want this more than anything that comes to say it's not working out,
Right.
or it's too hard, or it's impossible. No matter what, like, you have to be focused on your destination, and no matter what's thrown at you, you have to say, this is where I have to go, and I got to do what I got to do to get there. Yeah.
I think the most outstanding thing about your story, congratulations on all of your
Thank
success, but was the fact that you stopped waiting for people to open up a door for you.
Oh, yeah.
And that's how I am. I'm never going to sit around and wait for anybody to do shit for me. I'm going to make sure that if I want it, that I'm going to do it myself.
Yeah.
And I think that that's dope that you decided to take the experiences that you had being in the background to push you to the forefront. So what was that like? What was it like going from not having a role, or not a speaking role, to now being basically the star of the whole entire production?
Well, it took some trying times to push me there, because in the midst of filming, I always had a job. I worked in corporate America, and I had a good job, and I was making really good money. But I told myself one day, if I stay here, this is all I'm ever gonna do. I will always work in corporate America. And so in December 2017, I quit my job, and I was like, I'm gonna pursue the arts full time. Now, that is very scary.
Right.
But I'm also one of those people, I live by my faith, and again, this is the journey, this is the destination. And so I quit my job, and I lost every single thing that I own, every single thing.
Right.
Like, I tell people, I was homeless living in an Uber car,
Wow.
you know, but that lit a fire under me that said, you have to make it, because if I didn't push myself, I wasn't going to eat, or I wouldn't have anywhere to live. So to see the growth of myself, it tells me to keep going no matter what I see, because even to be in this position and say that you have a project that was just released, that's not easy, and you don't know how you're going to get to the next project. But made it this far. So it's like a constant push, a constant drive, a constant reminder to yourself that you can do it. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm just, because his story sounds so similar to mine, and I don't want to get into the I because I don't need nobody trying to lead us in the comments. Even though with an interview, you have to
relate.
Yes,
We can
because I'm
relate.
like Jesus. But I did the same thing. I went to work one day and I just quit because I knew that I wanted to start acting because that job was draining me, and I was more focused on the job, and the acting was kind of get pushed to the side.
Yeah.
So I literally went in. I was like, hey, I'm just gonna, because I knew if I would have planned it, it wasn't gonna work. You have to kind of just walk in and do it. And I dived into my acting. Let me see. The catch-22 of it happened to be me opening a restaurant
Right.
and still having to work.
But you the boss, and you
Right,
And that feels different.
Right,
it feels
but
very different.
It's still a lot.
You work harder when you work for yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, you quit and then
It's harder, but it's more freeing
Mhm.
because you know, like, listen, if I want to work late, I can work late to make sure I do whatever I need to do tomorrow for my talent, for my gift, or whatever. Okay, so you're 37. First of all, you don't look over 22.
Good.
When I came out and I was first meeting you, I was like, oh my God, this is a little kid. So I love that Black Don't Crack, but you have a long, long, long life ahead of you to be able to do great things. I am a Christmas movie buff, and most people don't know that about me.
I didn't know.
No, you have to live with me tonight.
I knew you liked Nutcracker. That's crickets.
Right.
Okay.
People have said, stop talking about being a hoe, Mike.
I just said that. I said the Nutcracker. That's
No, I know exactly
I know
where you're going with
I
that.
know you know what I mean, but I'm just saying.
And then every time I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna talk about being a hoe today. I'm gonna be good.
You're the host.
I am a hoe. Yeah, yeah.
You say you watched the show. You should know that.
Well,
he only watched
he
one
didn't say that
episode.
in that episode.
Really?
He only watched one episode. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't talk about it every episode.
I just said
It's just that you brought it up. So when you brought
and
it
you
up,
had to go on into it, then.
well, because you brought it up. Anyway, back to you. And y'all saw he asked me. Okay, because they'll be like, you just brought that
No,
up.
he did ask.
But no, I'm a Christmas movie buff. I've heard so many great things about your movie. I actually planned on going this weekend, but I had to work in DC. I didn't know if I was going to be working for sure. And at the last minute, the call came in, was like, hey, we need you on set. So I was in DC working. I wanted to come. And I'm kind of glad that I didn't, because I want to know more about your movie. You don't have to give it away, but for everybody else out there who hasn't watched it, who are in my shoes, you all can kind of like guide us through. Why should we go see this movie? Why is like, because this Christmas is my favorite Christmas movie forever, and why should I not watch this Christmas 100 times and at least come and see yours one time?
Well, for one, indie content creator.
Okay.
But no, so it's when I started writing, I went looking for Black gay Christmas movies, and there are none.
Okay.
The only gay Christmas movie that I found, it was a white movie. But I got a chance to tell our story. It's a dramedy.
Okay.
I made it relatable to our times. We were able to deal with heartbreak. We were able to deal with loneliness and depression during the holidays. We were able to deal with unresolved family issues. We were able to deal with mental illness in such a way that there was times in the premiere when people were laughing, and I was like, wait, I thought y'all would have cried or it would have tugged at your heartstrings, but there's one particular part in the movie that brings it all together, and I will never forget that first night. Everybody was laughing, and at the same time you heard everybody say, oh, and so that happened in like one of my favorite scenes.
Okay.
But it's just an opportunity. I felt like we had all been locked in the house for quarantine.
Right.
This was something fun. It was something fresh. It was something new. And it was for the LGBTQ community.
Wow.
And I'm very proud of that, because when I started my company, I wanted to create roles for the LGBTQ community. Not to say that we don't have jobs, but this is for us.
Right.
We don't have to ask nobody to give us anything.
Right.
We're not asking anybody to show us and represent us properly.
Right.
Because I feel like with this movie, I was able to show just your everyday gay male, you know, and if he just so happened to be flamboyant, that was okay. But I feel like there's more than one type of male for us to relate to, and we were able to show different kinds of gay males in our film. Yeah.
Wow.
Now, the funny thing about that is, and I'm trying to figure out how to talk about it without giving it away. The main character, when he first came onto the screen, I didn't even know he was gay.
That's good.
I didn't even get he was gay. And even when he started talking to the other character in the office, I thought he was just being friendly, like, you know, joking with him because it came off that way. So that was a good thing because it did show the differences in the levels of being gay, because so many people think that you have to be flamboyant or extremely effeminate, and that is so not the case, because it's just like any other thing in life, there are levels to it.
Yeah.
So, I had the same sentiment about the laugh, because when you got on the mic at the end and you said, I thought that y'all would be crying, y'all were laughing, because I told my husband, I said, why the hell they laughing next time? But I knew why they did, because of what was on the screen at the time. I'm like, they didn't fall in love with this particular character because of his, so that they, oh no, not so. But I thought that they would have been crying too because of the situation, but I think they were laughing more because of the character. That makes sense. Yeah. So, but Mike, I'm telling you,
I can't wait to see it.
I'm telling you,
I'm super
the
excited.
entire theater was laughing. Like, when you go, that's a good movie.
That is,
everybody, not just one person.
Yes.
Everybody has to. So yeah.
Yeah. So how can people watch the movie?
So we're gonna release it on streaming platforms this week. Some of them should go up. Unfortunately, they won't all go up at the same time. But it'll be on Apple TV.
Okay.
It'll be on somekindofchristmas.com. They'll be able to find it there. And I'm still trying to figure out if it's gonna go on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Because as an independent content creator,
right,
I do not make money from Amazon
That's
Prime.
right. That's very true.
People love to say my project going on Amazon Prime, but Amazon keeps all of the money. Yeah. So.
Okay, so if they go to this, what is it?
Somekindofchristmas.com.
Will they be able to see it for free? Do they have to pay? What is that like?
You will definitely have to pay.
How much is it? Let's talk business.
We'll know in a day or so. But I have to charge only because.
Yes. Nothing should be free. The reason why I'm asking, because I'll pay for 10 people to watch that. So let me know what it is, and I'll cash app you for 10 people, and we'll get the 10 people and send them over to you to be able to do that. I believe in people's projects, and I feel like at the end of the day that, you know, if you're going to be putting out your money, I don't do nothing for free. I professionally, I work as a counselor. I won't even counsel my friends. When they call me and they're going through, and they'll be like, oh, I don't even say what's wrong anymore. I'll be like, are you all right? And they'll be like, no. I'm like, listen, you want to make an appointment? Do you need a referral? I don't even go into that anymore because nothing is free. Yeah. So I don't blame you on that at all.
Yeah, and we were very fortunate with this project. When I speak of growth, I wasn't just speaking of me and how I've grown as far as the talent, but we were able to pay everybody. We were able to use larger cameras. We were able to use better sets. I wanted to create a quality project. Right. Just because I feel like our LGBTQ actors are just as great. They're just as professional. Better. Yes, and they deserve the same treatment as anybody else. And I've worked where enough to see where sometimes they're downplayed or they're given the lesser of in everything, just because it's like, oh, that's the gay boy on the set. So that's just, you know what I'm saying? So, and I didn't want to give them that. So yeah, we got to charge
y'all. Again, like we did on the last movie, make sure 10 of you all hit us up, and the first 10 that hits us up on our Instagram and our DM, we will connect you. If you have a passcode, however, we'll do it. But this time, and this is no shade to anyone, can we please make sure like all of that stuff is in place so when they log on, because they don't complain to y'all. They can. I'm like, all of you able to write the check.
I was somewhere else working, and I was getting all these DMs. I'm like, okay, so I'm on the phone. Mike, can you? I'm like, oh, I can't handle this.
And shout out to that movie because they did the best they could with their system.
He's in that movie.
Oh, really?
He is in Aspire.
Did I see it? Maybe I don't remember that.
Oh yeah, I was inspired.
The music tech was the music.
Okay. Yeah. See, I watch. Okay, everything I watch that we review, I do it on the treadmill. So could have been someone with a big old booty walking past. Could have been anything. I don't know. I could have been looking at my nigga the whole time. I don't know. But I'm just saying, I don't remember you in that movie, but that was good. That you
Yeah, it was very small that I was in it. That's Lando King's film.
Yes.
Yeah, Lando and I worked together some years ago, so it's like really good to see how he's grown and transitioned into his own little lane too. Yeah, so that's dope.
How long did it take you to film this?
We filmed this movie in 6 days.
Oh, come on, Tyler.
We filmed in 6
And
days.
you can't tell. I promise you cannot tell. He
We
said that
filmed
at the
in
end too.
6 days.
Wow.
Because we didn't have a whole lot of time. I started writing in it September.
Right.
And I locked myself in the house.
Okay, this September.
Mm-hmm.
And see, somebody else was
Y'all be
like,
killing it.
they were like, so is this for next year? I was like, hell no, that's for this year. And so I locked myself in the house for 2.5 weeks, wrote it, got it done. We did the casting, and we did film like the first week of October. And as soon as we wrapped, that same day, it was shipped to the editor, and we started working on it immediately. And what I've appreciated is when you're indie, yes, we make mistakes. Yes, we get things wrong, but give us credit for getting it done.
Exactly.
On the budgets that we
Exactly.
have, you know. So, yeah.
Well, you know people gravitate to negativity.
But even Tyler Perry make mistakes.
But even. He said even.
And he's
We
great.
all know we love Tyler. So you're right. And we see microphones. We see
Yeah.
bad hairstyles. I remember someone asked him on an interview. They were cracking on in that last movie that he did. I can't think of the guy's name. Real sexy, chocolate guy with a nice body. He said, he was like, who did his hair? I think people were asking that. Tyler was like, listen, I pay my hairstylist $70 an hour. And they go in, they do the best that they can. I was like, wait a minute, hold up. $70 an hour? I called my daughter. I said, if you don't get your ass in hair school. I was like, that is awesome. But the fact is that you all are doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's unfair to compare movies that have, you know, a $20,000 budget to a movie that has a $20 million budget. That's just completely unfair.
Yeah, that's very true. I thank you for saying that. Because if we do have $20,000,
that's it.
but with this, so like with this movie, I'm probably up to like $18,000.
Understand.
And that's no sponsor. That's my money. And what I told people was, when we produce a movie like that, yes, it's quality, but that's the light bill. That takes away from your mortgage. That takes away from a new pair of shoes. But again, you have to be wired for this, and you're okay with making that sacrifice for the greater gain.
Right. That's awesome. That is awesome. Okay, so what's next for you?
What is next for me? We're going to get some kind of Christmas online digitally.
Okay.
But I want to write a series. So, writing feature films is my strong suit, right? But I want to challenge myself and write a television series.
Okay.
And so what I did with a portion of the movie, the first part of the movie, I just wanted to see how people responded to it. So they all work at this place called Carol's Crematory, which they offer burial services for animals.
Right.
And so I want to do a spin-off of that, but turn it into a series.
It was all the dramas and the craziness
of
that.
corporate America.
Well, listen, when you do that, you make sure that you cast my
My
brother.
brother spoken.
Make sure he's on there. He's a good actor. There's quite a few good actors that that I know personally that would do well by you, and that don't mind, and that don't mind working, because there's a lot of people. I think one of the other powerful things that you said was that even while you were building your craft and learning, you were working.
Yeah, I have a job.
And we have people here, and I've said this before, and I'm gonna say it again. And before I take it back, I'll add more to it. At the end of the day, your ass need a job,
You need a job.
and you don't have to give up your craft just because you work. Now, it may tire you out. It may make you frustrated, of course, but at the end of the day, you still have to be an adult and take care of your responsibilities. So I think that was dope.
One of the best things that has happened in the last, I think, maybe 3 or 4 years, as far as thespians and musicians and people of that nature, is Lyft and Uber.
I agree.
Because when those jobs came out, I said, you know what, this is perfect. Because you navigate that the way you want to.
Right.
And I did drive Uber Eats for a little minute while I was on auditions, because I'm like, I can log in and work, and if somebody calls about an audition, I can leave work, and you know, you do your own, so it still work. And that's why I don't understand when people say that they can't work while they're doing this, because it's a little bit easier. And then Uber and Lyft made it easier. they'll get you a car.
They will.
So you can't even say you don't have a car, dude. So it's like there's really no excuse right now for anybody to not work while they're trying to pursue their dreams because it is feasible.
Right, and then let's not forget OnlyFans. And just for fans, they can do that too, and they can still work. Now, if you're the type of producer that you won't work with our kind of people, because I am an OnlyFans guy, if you are that type of person, I understand it.
Meaning you do it or you watch it?
No, I am on OnlyFans.
Oh, really?
I make amazing money on OnlyFans.
You do it and watch it.
Yeah, I do watch it.
Yeah.
Well, hold on, let me think. Do I watch OnlyFans? No.
So I worked for a company.
No,
right?
I'm on Twitter, but I don't watch OnlyFans, so I don't. That's kind of sad.
I worked for a company, right? It was hardcore soft porn.
Mhm.
But they took me to a porn set one day
Right.
because they were going to collab with it. And so I was able to see how they make porn. And they watch porn to make porn. That's why I was like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm
No.
watching it.
I actually, no, I just only watch Twitter. That's it. I have not subscribed to any OnlyFans accounts, and my friends are going to kill me, but I will. I will this weekend. I will. At least 5.
Oh, well, let me get an account so you can subscribe. I'm joking. I'm
Well,
joking.
that's $15, $20.
$6.99. You said you subscribe and you want us to help your friend.
Anyway, but I'm just saying that's also another way that people can still make a living and you know, practice their craft. And I know a lot of people said, yo, you know, they told me, they were like, yo, if you ever do that, you know, you'll never be on TV, you'll never be on set, you know, companies will never work for you, or let you work for them, excuse me. That's not true.
I think it's different.
That's not, it's different now. I remember I first started working with them and I got my first contract with them. I was so scared because by this time I was already an OnlyFans guy and I was like, they're gonna take my contract away. I was scared, I was crying, and I went into with one of the executives and she looked up at me after she was like, are you done crying? And I was like, I'm just so sorry, I don't know what to say. She was like, you don't think we know this about you? And I was like, oh, and I just turned around and walked back out.
We had a whole party and I was like, girl, come look.
Well, from what I found out when I was in DC was just that quite a few of the producers watching. I'm like, okay.
They're normal people. I
Right.
think that whole, I mean, you still got some people that stick up their ass, but it's so easy to just come across an entrepreneur.
Right.
Like, you know, these new millennials, they're very different.
Way
And they
different.
overlook a lot of things.
Don't care.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
care.
It's
Don't.
about the business.
I think what people look for now is integrity. And are you going to do what you say you're going to do?
Yeah.
And can your word be honored? You know, and I struggled with that for years. But once I finally started getting that, you know, better, then doors started opening. So.
And just don't do your
That's right.
content on the set. Say that from the
Oh no.
But no, I don't think that, I don't
Yeah.
hold anything against anybody because, like I said, when I was homeless and I needed a meal, I just wanted to eat. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? I didn't have to, OnlyFans wasn't around then. I don't know
Right.
if I would have did it or not. But hell, if you get hungry enough, you know what you do.
That's true.
But, so, you can't hold things against people.
Right.
I can't
Exactly.
tell you how to get through my life.
And let me tell you this is the other thing that I've learned. Like, before I started OnlyFans, I used to really be judgmental. See, this is why you just keep your mouth shut and you don't say shit. I used to judge people. I'm like, oh my God, they're on there doing this and doing that, da 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 da. And I ended up getting into a relationship that kind of like opened up the door for me to do that. And I was like, oh my God, like this is crazy. But the people that I was meeting that were in OnlyFans, they were doctors, they were lawyers, they were school teachers. I was like,
But it's like,
who would have ever known?
to make the amount of money that OnlyFans makes, somebody got to be supporting it. So I cannot subscribe. I've subscribed to a few. I can't
Come
subscribe and then be like, you nasty. No.
Exactly.
And that's what
No.
happens.
Exactly.
That's exactly what happens. People will subscribe, but then they're subscribed in their home, but when they're in the public, they ridicule.
John, my analytics show that most preachers subscribe to
I
mine.
want to see.
True. It's amazing.
Okay, so
Well,
yes,
we'll talk.
Please.
It's amazing, but I'm talking about the business money part.
I got you.
But thank you so much for coming. You are a lot of fun. We definitely look forward to having you back again. Whenever you do a project, you are more than welcome to come back. I am going to talk about your movie. Probably once I get a chance to see it, we'll talk about it without you being here. Because if I don't like it, I'm going to say it. Like,
You're gonna love it.
but everyone,
And it's
seriously.
a hot sex scene in there. You're gonna really like that.
Oh, shit, for real?
Oh, yeah.
I'm for that.
It's real hot. You
No,
gonna-
is it for real?
Oh, I'm
Is it
so
like-
serious. Like,
Okay, should it have been on OnlyFans?
Yep.
Oh shit, I'm going to see it. I need
Yep.
that link
He
today.
said, "Yep."
Yep. It's up on the fan.
What's that?
Like legit. When you see it, you go like, Enrique, you did
And
not
my
lie.
mama was in there.
What did
Yeah.
your mama say?
My mom has seen my work.
Okay,
so like,
okay.
It's now at a place.
He was in the scene. That's why.
Oh, were you in the sex scene?
Yeah.
Oh, now I have questions. We were almost done. What were you doing? And this is not going to give away the movie, so I want details. Because we already know the sex scene, so what were you doing in the movie? In that sex scene, what were you doing?
Having sex.
Doing what?
Like, you want to know what position we
Yes,
were
like
in?
what were you
Not-
doing?
don't-
No, not like that. I'm
You
talking
wanna
about
know
like,
top of the
was it
bottom?
like oral sex? Was it like,
No, it's
No,
a
like
bang
sex
scene.
sex.
Yeah.
It's a bang scene.
Penetration. Mm-hmm.
Hair pulling.
It was hair pulling. It was hair pulling. Cheeks out.
Yeah. It was almost equivalent to
But it was
what's the
tasteful.
show? What's
It
the show?
was
P Valley
tasteful.
with the scene.
but I always wanted to ask someone, what is tasteful sex? And then who determines what tasteful sex is?
Not tasteful sex, visually tasteful.
What determines that?
So I feel like some sex scenes you watch is trashy. That's just my personal opinion.
What makes something trashy?
The intent of the scene.
The intent.
Like our sex scene to me
Was it like making love?
is art.
It was not love.
Sometimes I think the sex scene can be porn. That's just me.
Oh, do you think porn is trash?
I don't think porn is trash when it's in the right space.
Okay.
I wouldn't put a porn scene in the middle of a Christmas movie.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. That needs to
Yeah,
fit
it has
the
to-
content.
It has to be.
Okay, yeah, okay, I agree with you
Yeah.
on that. Definitely, I agree with you on that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
And then the shower scene was nice too. So like that. You still had to whip.
Can I tell you what the sad thing is?
You get excited every time.
If you would have told me,
Oh, this
then I would have been like,
You
can I come up on Sunday?
is.
But no, I was gonna say it. Seriously, I was gonna say it on Saturday, so I would not have been able to do it. But I can't wait to watch it, and I'm sure it's gonna be great. And we're looking for so many more greater things from you.
Thank you so much.
I think
I
that's
appreciate it.
I think that's dope.
So, thank you guys for tuning in because Mike is gonna talk. He gets somebody he can have a conversation with. Kingz in Conversation. He gonna keep talking. But thank you guys for tuning in. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Follow this young man. Give me your Instagram. Anyway, you want me to follow.
I am Act 1 Scene 2 no matter where you go. My website is act1scene2.com, or if you look me up on Facebook, is Davien Harlis.
And on Instagram, it's
Instagram, Twitter, OnlyFans is Act 1 Scene.
You better come on, you better get that money. You better get that.
Yeah, so it's Act 1 Scene 2 everywhere.
That's good. All right, everybody. We appreciate you, and we hope that you've enjoyed this conversation. Make sure you all go out and check out this movie. And again, if you want to be one of the 10 people who we get a pass for, we'll be more than happy to take care of that for you.
DM Mike.
DM Kingz in Conversation. Because if you DM me, it's going to get
Yeah,
lost.
he ain't gonna see it.
I will not see it.
Bye.
All right, bye, everybody.